to sign on because sometimes it does take just a little bit of time to get people on. I can't find my page. Was just with kind of, I can't believe it was like a month ago now that we did that first, right? Almost a month ago?
Yeah, a month ago.
Yeah, that we did that first call and we kind of laid out for everyone. Here's what the trip's all about. Here's what being a director's all about. Here's some perks. And then we talked about the overarching stuff and boiled it down to, honestly, if it's overwhelming to look at all of it, if you look at get 4 parties a month and 1 recruit a month, that kind of sets the foundation to what we're looking towards. Now, there's obviously some you don't want for $200 parties to hit what we're talking about, but that was like a way to kind of give yourself that, okay, 4 parties, 1 recruit. It's something to focus on. Then we asked for everyone to kind of maybe share either their goals with us as leaders, your own sponsor, or on the page, and lots of people did different things. And then we kind of tried to hook people up with accountability partners as the chance to share your business and your goals and even some of what's going on in your personal life that kind of either matches, helps, or hinders all of that. So one of the things we wanted to do first was kind of ask, how are things going with what you set for your goals in general or for October? How are things going with that? What are some successes you've had? And maybe what are some things that could be tweaked with a little help from the group or from if you are working with an accountability partner or something like that. So I guess it's just 2 of you for right now. So go ahead and share what you've got for now. And then hopefully more will jump on. And if not, we'll still go as planned with the call because we are recording so that if you do have like your own accountability partners, we'll obviously share it in the page, but it would help peer-to-peer for you guys to suggest that they check the recording out. So what do you guys have?
Well, I had a great month planned. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay. I'm using my husband's computer. I had a great month planned. I had 5 parties to start off the month with. Like my weekends were booked. I was feeling awesome. We're going to do this. And then I had 2 of them cancel on me. I was talking to Miranda about that today. I was really bummed. But I still have like some great things in the pipeline coming up for this next weekend. So not trying to let it derail me too much. And then I don't have anything for November. So I'm kind of like shocked. I'm just hoping these next 2 parties that I'll be able to book out from those and see if that works. That's what I'm hoping, 1 party, book 3 parties is kind of what Miranda's always said. And it does work that way. Like if you can get 1 party, you usually can get a few more booked off of that. So that's what I have going. And I'm going to hit that 1,000 this month. With 2 more parties, I'm going to do that. I'm going to get that Cindy tote. My group's looking like we should hit director. Hopefully, Miranda, fingers crossed. We should hopefully do that. And that's scary, very scary, because it's something that like I was getting toward it when we lived in Illinois, and then I backslid and then was even thinking about quitting and then again building my business. So that's a really cool, exciting thing to think about. And then working toward leadership incentive. I want to take my husband on a trip. I think that'd be great. So, and I had a recruit sign on that like I didn't even know about. She just got sent to me by home office and signed up. I didn't even meet her before she signed up. And so we're slowly getting her started, and hopefully we'll get her PICA sooner than later. And so that's what I've got so far. Pretty good start, I think.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
So I have a great month going. I already got my Cindy tote. I still have a home party and 2 other parties going on this month. I have my bingo for next month and at least 1 Facebook party for next month. So it's looking good. But on the recruits, I hope to get some. I have 1 person under me who's not doing much at all. And I keep bugging, and she's not even PICA'd, and kind of frustrating, but I know she is a foster care mom too, so she has her hands full. But yeah, so I need to get people under me because I'm getting the parties coming, but just no one's joining me, so it's kind of frustrating, but I'm still working away.
I think it's awesome to look for you, Alyssa, at where you're at now to where you're at 6 months ago. And like see where when we first decided, like, okay, so, you kind of got in your rhythm with having Reagan and, like, getting through all of that. And then looking at all the effort you put in. First it was with your VIP group. Then it was finding Hostess of the Month. Then it was starting bingo, whatever. Like, you're seeing the results of that now. So now that you're consciously starting to try and talk to people about it, you'll see the same thing where the more you share it, the more comfortable you'll get, the more response you'll get, and the more parties you have, the more people you see, it will come. I just think you've been doing such a great job, and I think the same thing is what you're going to see is what Kara is talking about. Like, she did that. She started that in Illinois, where the same thing, it started, and she started getting parties, and she would get outside sales, she would get return people, and then when she started asking, she found herself getting recruits, and then she moved, and that kind of shifted because her team kind of petered off in Illinois. And then I just kept telling her, just get one party, just get one home party and get started. And then she's done the same thing. So that's why they say plant the seeds. It's the perfect analogy of planting seeds and then continuing to water them. And the other thing, for both of you, like, I just really love both of your willingness to try things. It's like, I think you're both to the point where it might not work, and that's fine, but if you say try it, I'll try it. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And when it doesn't, you're like, okay, on to the next thing. And it's going to be the same thing with recruiting. The more you get comfortable, you ask people, and then you're like, okay, well, that's fine. A lot of times they turn into bookings when they say no to recruiting. Now you ask them if they want to host a party, and they're like, well, sure, I'll do that if you're not going to ask me to join or something. But the other thing is just to continue to follow up, because like I said, it really is a seed planted. It takes a little bit. Both of you took a little bit of time we talked about it, and it took time to get you there. So thanks for sharing, and great jobs this month so far. Okay. Renee, did you have anything? I'm sorry.
Nope. Carly, welcome. We were just chatting about, you want to go ahead and tell her what you said earlier?
Oh, Carly, we're just sharing, we're just sharing kind of where you're at right now. Since last month, we kind of introduced the trip, leadership, and the basics. Then everyone kind of set goals, and we started connecting with some accountability ideas. So we just wanted to share where you think you're at, what are some successes you've had, and maybe some things that could be tweaked. Kara and Alyssa already shared, so if you want to share, I'm not going to force you, Carly, but you're the only one left. So,
I've had several in-home parties this month. I had one tonight, and it went well. But my problem right now is people don't want to book parties off of those parties. So, which my past two parties have only had like 2 to 4 people there. So asking them, they were like, no, I'm not really interested in that. So I'm struggling to find the right way to get them then to add on and book parties for me.
Can I jump in real quick?
Of course.
I don't know how long you've been doing this or anything, but one thing I found, because I know when I just ask people, hey, you want to have a party, want to have a girls' night? A lot of times the response was, no, are you crazy? So I got these big dice from Five Below. They're the pink and a black one. And I said, okay, so I have these 2 big dice, and you can't touch them unless you play my game. And for some reason, the fact that they can't touch them unless they play my game really makes them want to play the game. I don't know. It's something about, like, they can't have it if I don't let them. I don't know. It works, believe me. And so I have envelopes labeled 2 to 12, and I tell them, you roll the dice, and in one of these envelopes is $25 gift certificate, and in some of the envelopes there's a prize, and some of the envelopes there's have a party. And if you guys get the grand prize of the $25 gift certificate, I'll honor that. And if you get a prize, I'll honor that. So I just ask that if you're going to play my game, if you book a party, you'll honor that, and we'll pick a date. And surprisingly, I get, like, if I can get one person at the party to play that game, I can usually get almost the entire crowd to play the game. And so even if you only have like 3 to 4 people there, that's, 3 to 4 bookings you might get. And just a tip, put the $25 credit in the number 2 envelope because the number 2 is the hardest one for them to rolling 2 dice. It's just so you're not always paying out $25. It's kind of how I worked it.
Do you do the thank you for sharing that. Do you do the, like, if they book without playing, they get something? Because I've heard that before, people who play that game, is if you just book your party without playing, then you get the grand prize, or you get to pick one or something like that.
I did it at my last party that I usually, once they get their envelopes, I'm like, okay, if you decide not to look in your envelopes and just book a party, I'll buy the customer special for you at your party. But that kind of backfired this month because it's a pretty expensive customer special. But normally I offer that, and some people are like, sure, I'll book. Like them getting that customer special, which normally costs you like $10 to $15, they're willing to do that.
Cool. Carly, another thing that I found was, and it comes with like a little bit of experience with booking as well. When people would tell me no at the party, there's a few questions you can ask next. So one was, oh, okay, so did you get everything that was on your wish list tonight? Because they probably didn't. So if they tell you no, then you have the opportunity. I always ask 2 questions beyond. I ask everyone to have a party. But I ask them, would it be okay if I kept you in the loop? Because I really like to check in with you and just make sure you're in the know. And almost everyone tells me yes, unless they have a consultant already. So then that gives me the opportunity to follow up with them, and they might turn into bookings eventually. And then the other thing is that I invite them to my Facebook group. So if I have 10 people at a party, I try to leave the party with 2 bookings on the books, just because statistically in my head, that's where I should be. But I also typically add at least half the people to my Facebook group at the party, because that gives me a hook then into keeping them interested, so that when I do follow up with them, likely they'll be booking potential in the future. So that doesn't solve it at the party. But those are just other tips where don't feel like you lost all those people basically as potentials. Because they're also, when it's a smaller party, it can go both ways. I've had where they all book a party and they're all like, well, tell us the specials and we'll all come to your party. And sometimes it's like awkward because they're like, well, who's going to be the one to book the party? That's why, like Norwex, you have to get a booking to get your rewards. And that happened at a Norwex party where we're all like, okay, who's going to have the party? And there's only 3 of us there. So
Tupperware is the same way too. You have to have a party to get.
Tupperware does too.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I don't know if that was helpful to you or not, but I think both of those gave you options for hopefully something to think about. And it's always what works for you. You know, you can get advice from lots of people, and what works for you is what's good. So.
And we do have that dice game. I think it's in the files on our team page, Carly, if you wanted to try that, the one that Kara talked about, all the instructions there.
Okay, thank you.
So we're going to start out with some training about sponsoring. Since Alyssa, you had said about that's a struggle that you have, and I think it's a challenge for all of us. We always can do better with sponsoring. So first of all, I just wanted to give you a quote that Miranda shared with me today that was very inspiring. Who did you say it was from, Miranda? Eric Worre. Okay. And he said, if you're scared to share the opportunity, you're focused on the wrong person. So that was like really impactful to me, because I think a lot of times when people think about sharing the opportunity of the business, they're scared because they're afraid of what will the person think that I'm offering it to, or what might their rejection be. And so you already have preconceived ideas of what they're going to tell you before you even get the words out of your mouth. So if you are focused on them, it's going to totally change your perspective on sharing the opportunity. And with Christmas coming up, I think it's so great to think of it as giving this gift to somebody, because I don't know how long you and Alyssa and Kara have been selling, but Carly's been selling since August, and she's already seen such a huge impact she's had on her life from this business. And so if you think about the people that you could potentially gift this business to, it's life-changing. Miranda and I have both had our lives changed because of this business. And so think about the people that could use the income for Christmas. Think about the people that could use the products to gift for Christmas. And then think about the people that could use the friendships or the relationships that they could build through this business. So I'm going to give you, it's called the Fabulous Five, the Fab Five. I'm going to give you a list of people that you're going to want to be sharing the opportunity with and keeping your eye open for having those conversations. So if you have something to write these down, that would be good. The first one is your hostess. Obviously, she loves the products. She's hosting a party with you, and most likely her friends love the products if she's having a party. And so you want to make sure that you're always offering the business opportunity to your hostesses. And you guys may be doing this already, but it's just a good reminder. I try to always offer it before their party. That way, if they decide to join, then that could be their launch party instead of me taking their launch party for my own, and then they decide to join after, and then we have to find them a hostess. So I always try to offer it before, but if I forget or something happens, I just don't get the chance to offer it before. After the party is still a great time to offer. And then at that point, you could be like, you had such a great party. Your friends love the products, obviously. Why would you not want to give this a try? The second person is the life of the party. So this is the girl that's at your home party that is just bubbly and fun. Everybody loves her, and she just has that fun personality. Or on Facebook, she has those quirky, fun comments, and you just kind of tell that she's really fun to be around. She would make a great consultant. And so you could tell her that because of her personality, she would be a great consultant. So the life of the party. The third one is the lady that spends the most. Obviously, that kit enrollment fee is she's not gonna blink an eye about it. She's getting a huge discount on the products because she's getting $400 worth of stuff for $99. So what's another $100 to her if she has lots of money? The person that spends the least is number 4 because they could probably use the money. So while she may not buy a lot at the party because she can't afford it, she could probably scrounge together $100 to get a business started to make income. And so it's a great opportunity to give her have that conversation with her about becoming a consultant. And then the fifth one is any 3 of these categories that you see in ladies, whether they are looking for time to be home with their kids, whether they are looking for income, or whether they are looking to get products because they love 31 products and they want to get them for cheaper than full price. Another way that you could word this is looking for the person that you were when you became a consultant. So for instance, for me, I became a consultant because I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom and have that time with my kids, plus I wanted the income. So I kind of had a two-sided why. So if you come across anybody that had that same kind of why that you had when you joined, you know that you'll be able to relate to her and you'll be able to tell your story and she will understand it because she has that same desire. Miranda shared another statistic with me today, and she said that it was talked about yesterday in our leadership call, which I missed, that an average person spends $900 a year on Christmas gifts. And so if you think about $900, how that could really change someone's life, that could pay for Christmas with their commission, or they could take the products that they would earn in their Startswell or with their hostess rewards, and they could gift those products for Christmas and not have to buy so many. So this is truly a gift that you can take and offer to somebody. It's not about you, and it's not about what they're going to tell you if they reject you. It's about what you're offering them and what you could potentially do with this business for them. So Miranda's going to share some verbiage that you could use for both a conversation with somebody who you've never offered the opportunity to before and somebody that you have on the fence and that you're just kind of wanting to check in with every now and then to kind of push her over that fence.
Okay, so someone you've never offered the opportunity before, what you're going to want to do with her is kind of, don't prejudge, like Renee said earlier, but you might preemptively decide which thing she might connect to. So you're going to have listened to cues, whether you see her posts on Facebook, whether you listen to her at soccer practice, or she's in your mom's club, or she's a coworker at your full-time job, whatever it might be. You're going to listen to those cues and you're going to say to her, it all depends on your personality. What I typically say is, don't think I'm crazy, hear me out. I've heard you talking a lot about how Johnny's soccer dues are so often. He plays indoor and outdoor, and you're around lots of moms all the time. And I think you know that I'm a 31 consultant, and some of our biggest consumers are teachers and busy moms. And I just thought that I should talk to you about how being able to do this would give you some of that girl time that I know we as moms really need and want, but don't always give ourselves. And 1 to 2 parties a month would help you pay for Johnny's soccer dues, plus probably have extra. Is that something you would want to hear more about? So what you're doing is that wasn't anything about you. You didn't push it on her. You connected to her and gave her a reason to see something that didn't really have anything to do with direct sales or having a party. You gave her a way to pay for soccer dues, which she's been telling you for 3 or 4 weeks is tough for her. So it could be anything. It could be the time. A lot of times that was my first why. So anytime at a party that I heard someone say, oh, this was so fun, I wish I could do this more often, that was the most natural person for me to offer the opportunity to, because I could relate to her. She needed that time away. So there are other people who I know are a little bit more, they're good at cold recruiting. One of the girls on our team is Rachel. She is doing amazing right now. She's actually, she DIQ'd last month and is ready to promote this month. She does that. She sees people in her Facebook feed that maybe talk about student loans or needing time or just different things. And so she'll just reach out to them straight up from just their Facebook posts and say, hey, I saw you post about this. I can't even tell you that in 1 year how much 31 has done for me. Can I tell you about it? And she always asks for that permission first. That's another big key, regardless of who you're sharing with, is asking for permission. So I hope that helps with the idea of someone you've never offered the opportunity before, kind of finding that hook in to connect with them. Can any of you guys think in your mind of someone that you've never offered it to before? They might think you're a little crazy, but would fit one of those girl time money products, or even now like the Christmas concept. Can you think of someone?
Maybe my hostess that I'm having the party with on this weekend, because she wants to be a stay-at-home mom soon, so it might be something that she might want to do, because I know they're looking like 2 or 3 years into the future of her being a stay-at-home mom. Right now she works at the candy factory, Dum Dums, and so maybe having her join, because she comes to my bingo parties. She has been buying stuff on and off, so
she's kind of gonna hit all of she's going to hit all of those whys. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Carly, can you think of anyone?
I had a lady tonight at my party that she has twin girls that she said are 5. I'm not exactly sure what she does, but she didn't spend much. So once Renee said about the Fab 5, I was thinking of her because she didn't spend much. And when I asked her to host the party, she goes, oh, well, not right now. So I was thinking maybe mentioning something to her, reaching out to her later on, and just suggesting something to her about earning some extra cash for those 2 girls.
Yeah. Okay. So the second thing that we talked about was wait, I just lost my train of thought. What was the second one I was going to share, Renee? It's in my head. It's just not written down.
You mean about sponsoring?
Yeah. Oh, someone you who's on the fence. Okay. So I have a ton of those right now. I looked the other day and I looked at, I always have a running list that I keep in my one notebook. And I said, I want to take that running list and get down to who do I think are my legitimate leads? And I have 12 that I think are legitimate leads right now. And so I was like, okay. And I said in our accountability room, how do I push these people off the fence? And so what I did was I took what I knew their why was, and I was gonna be armed with that, because I always ask people, one of the questions, and if I recruited you, I probably asked you this, if you joined right now, what would you be most excited about? Because that's a way to talk about their why without them knowing that it's their why. So I do that, and then I learned from one of the home office staff that I work closely with, I reached out to one of the girls that really loves the close to home tray, and she is a potential recruit. And so I just reached out to her and I said, hey, I wanted to follow up with you. I know we hadn't really talked exactly what your time frame was yet. Do you know when you were looking to try and decide? And I only asked because that close to home tray is one of the Hostess exclusives this month, where you could not just get one, but you could get 3 if you wanted, for yourself or for family members. So I just wanted to see what that time frame was and if October was still a possibility. And so we planned her Facebook launch party. I mean, it doesn't always happen like that, but she's gonna sign up, and we're gonna do her. She wanted to launch in person, was part of it, but so when you're following up with someone who is on the fence, the biggest piece of advice I got is asking for that time frame, because it gets them thinking a little bit more concretely than just whenever. So that's one that I use, time frame, and then really connecting with her why and driving off of that, because then you can lead her with either the products, the girl time, let's plan a theme party, and it will be a great way to get everyone excited. You'll be able to book parties at your launch party. And the last one is money, is one that I have not tried this yet. I think Renee's one of the couple people who have given me this tip. When would you like your first payday to be? We get paid on the 25th. When would you like to first get paid? So if they're they're there for the income, you can talk to them. Well, so right now, the 10th. Their first payday right now would be on the 10th, obviously, because if they joined in October. But that's moving forward, that's definitely a conversation to have, because if they're driven by that income, if you're talking to them in the first week of the month, you can get them signed up, launch their business, and they can have their first paycheck the 25th of that month. So that's another one that I've learned from other people. So those are
I have 4 paydays left till Christmas, so you could break it down for that way too. You know, how do you only have 4 paydays left till Christmas? How many paychecks do you want before Christmas? For those that don't.
Yeah, that's a good one too. How many paychecks would you have for Christmas? Okay, cool. So the next thing we're gonna do. Okay, do you guys have any questions on sponsoring or sharing the opportunity? Well, I honestly, when I started trying to shift my focus into this, what I do is I take when you're like, okay, do I have anyone I could ask? There's 2 methods they're really scientific. One's the green dot method. My team's heard of this before. You open Messenger and you go to active right here. Oh, my phone's not going to work now. Anyway, it's on your phone or on the computer. Everyone who's active has a green dot. So you just go through and you look at all the green dots and see if it can jog your memory with someone you could either invite to your Facebook group, offer a party, or share the opportunity with. And then the other one is I open my 31 app and go to the contacts, and I tell myself, like, don't overthink it. And I literally just scroll through my app, and then the people who, like, pop out to me, like, oh, yeah, I was supposed to follow up with her. Oh, yeah, she loved this. And then you can literally tell her, hey, I was working a little bit and you popped into my head. I was thinking about you, because that legitimately happened. So, like, just to maybe jog your memory of some people, because I always encourage, when coming off of these trainings, right now, you might not contact them now depending on which time zone you're in. For me, if people knew me, they know they can message me till midnight, but maybe not right now. But have that list. Make a list right when we hang up tonight with what are some of the touch points, people you could reach out to. We're, of course, already only down to 5 minutes, and we still have,
25 minutes to share.
Okay, so does anyone, this is the most pertinent, honestly, especially with the 3 of you who are on live. That's probably the most pertinent with pushing you to that next level, because you're all strong in sales. Does anyone have any questions about any of that? You're muted. Carrie, you're muted.
Sorry. When you're at the party and you're checking people out and you're asking them, do you ask them if they'd like to be a bag lady before you ask them if they want to have a party?
I always kind of feel them out. Like, if I feel like that they would be good at it, if they have the personality for it, and I think that they would be excited, or if they ask questions during my why presentation or during my game where I handed out tickets for them asking questions about my business, then I would. But I think it all depends on the person and what you kind of feel like they would say yes to. For me. Is Miranda frozen for everybody?
Am I frozen?
There you are.
I just was muted. I don't offer the opportunity to everyone. I'm offering it to more people. One of the things that piece of advice I've gotten is if you plug early on, that be honest. Like you're gonna sit here tonight and you're either gonna fall in love with the products, you're gonna enjoy yourself so much, or you're gonna realize this is what you could do and earn some income. You might connect with all or any of those. And so I want you to be thinking about, is this something you could do? And then I'll ask you about it later. So that's one thing that I have learned to add at the beginning of my parties, just from advice from other people, so that then at the end, maybe I don't actually ask everyone, but they're thinking about it at least. So then when I ask them, have you ever thought about doing what I do? They're like, well, I had it until you mentioned it. And then what do you really make anyway? Or like, what are the benefits? Or what? Everyone's scared of the requirements. Like that's what everyone's scared of. And I'm like, listen, you and your friends and family could keep you active. That is not something you need to worry about. What would be most interesting to you? And so I'm starting to have more natural conversations where they say they're not ready. And then, like I said, if you offer that first, then it's so easy because you're like, okay, you're not ready to do that, but obviously you're interested in the products or like this time. Can we put you on my calendar so that we can get back together and at least get you around it again? And I'm sarcastic, so I always say, and I mean, you'll get to see me again, so obviously that's a good benefit. So, so offering the party is easier after you've offered the opportunity, but you're also going to then probably get more people saying, I've had people say like, yes, I have been thinking about it, but I didn't want to admit it. But they've never been asked by anyone if they've thought about it. So hopefully that helps a little bit with making the plugs earlier on, makes it easier to swing back to it later.
So we want to give you guys an action step and some homework again, like we did last time. This is something that will maybe push you and help you to get out of your comfort zone with sharing the opportunity. So from now until our next call in November, we're going to challenge you to send out one recruiting packet in the mail every week and connect with or send out one digital packet. Basically, like you could send the opportunity flyer or the brochure through the PDF and a couple other files that we have, like I have a 31 reasons why 31 is for you, to people on Facebook or however you do that through social media. We know a lot of our businesses are done online now. And so we challenge you to send out one paper recruiting packet and one digital recruiting packet a week. That would be a total of 8 from now until our next call. Last time that we had done a drive to director thing kind of like this, Erica on our team, she basically said that she believes she promoted to director because she did this, because she had several girls that joined her team that she sent a recruiting packet to that she never thought would join. And so it can kind of stretch you, and like Miranda said, it'll help jog your memory if you go through those couple lists and maybe just send a packet in the mail and say, hey, I thought about you, and how this opportunity could change your life. Send her a handwritten letter in your packet, and then make sure that you follow up with these people after they have received it to see what their thoughts are. So I will post a video in our event page after we get off the call about what I put in my recruiting packets, in case you don't make recruiting packets currently. And we can also upload any files that Miranda or I use for our packets. But that will be your homework from now until the next call.
Thanks for signing on today. It's going to kick us off. If you all would be willing in our this week's event page to kind of give us like an aha from tonight's call and maybe your goal now for the next couple weeks, because we didn't get through everything. We'll chat about following up on some of the other things, but if you could do that in our page or in our this week's event, that'd be really great, just to kind of share your aha moment and now your focus goals for the next 4 weeks. So
thanks for joining.